When you turn on your stream, waiting for the lights to go green. But only one is online, no two are online. Only one left, then we're streaming just fine. This is a Christmas song, they always are. I don't know, it says it's sending data. Maybe that's good enough for me. I wonder if I can move this phone up here. Simple as it can be. Hey. Alright. That works. Yeah, that works. That'll do. Ripley. We always forget something. When I say we, I am of course blaming you. This way, this might solve some problems, Ripley. This might actually solve some problems. This tablet is disgusting today. Forgot my chat window. I think CTK is there, but I don't have my chat window open, so I can't actually see without squinting real hard. Let me just click on this right away and let that open up wherever it's going to open up. There you are. Restream chat. Giving you words so you know where you're at. Space Goonie and a CTK, ready to stream on a Tuesday. Oh yeah, gotta do a cold open. Gotta remember where my pen is. Seems to be in sync. I think we're pretty synced up. Everything seems to be okay. You're always so concerned about the thing. Did you not just notice how I just jumped right there? There was like 4 frames that just dropped from my movement. But you're worried about your thing? Oh no, that's fine. You're the captain of the plumbers over there. Why don't you do is get some plumber's putty and some elbow wrenches and then wrench some things up. You think lover? Huh? That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. Anyway, I guess we should get started. Maybe we should get started. Maybe I should take over, cause it's been a pretty rough week in the world. So maybe you should just take a break, and I'll just make it my show. It'll just be my show. Okay, you sit tight, big guy, and I'll just start calling you big guy, and then I'll be like, hey, big guy, time for a new theme song, big guy. Here's a theme song. Making your way in the world today. Take everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot.
Tell your friends,
Tell your friends.
and tell your hot mom.
Hot mom.
There's no such thing as grownups.com.
Hey, here we are for real, and for real, we are here. That feels better. Not as much headroom, a little more crotch room though, but that's what we got. This screen here. The other day, when I didn't feel like drawing anything, oh, that's not gonna work. All right, I'll just move this. Let's move this. Can we make this smaller? Nope. All right, we'll make do. Did a little rock steady. One of my Instagram friends thought it might have been Rectaxis from Babar, the delightful King of England. I definitely watched every episode of Babar and the Christmas specials. I don't know what the F Babar was about. Don't know what Babar was about. I mean, in the Christmas special, it was like, hey, this elephant came to our town, and he wishes to learn about Father Christmas. You've not heard of Father Christmas, Babar? Let us teach you of Father Christmas. I believe they were English or British. Oh, Rectaxis was the coolest name. I spent forever trying to figure out how to say it. Was it Rextaxis? Retaxis? Everybody kind of said it different. Same was Babar. But then Babar left the human, like, thanks for showing me Christmas, thanks for showing me summertime, whatever it was. I think the camera is out of sync. Oh, I adjusted the time again, so maybe the mic is within time now. I don't know. When I watch it on YouTube, like I assume I fixed it because I'm like, wow, no, the sound is dead on. Pat's nuts. Pat's a nut all the way to the bank because this sound is dead on. And same with math. There's no 63 millisecond delay over here. And then I'm watching it on Twitch, and it's like, oh my god, this seems like a 12-minute delay. But right now it's making me a little crazy, and I can't. There we go. This is how I'm moving my head. All right. What about over here? I have to look back over here to check over there, though. That's how I test for syncing. You just shake your head back and forth, and that's how you know what's going on. But still a bit off. You know what? I'm going to add a few more milliseconds. I'm going to do it right here. Let's go. See what 70 does. Let's go crank it to 70. What do I do? Just close this window? I think I just close this window. What if I put it on the camera I'm looking at? There we go. That seems a little less crazy. Ooh, McDonald's. Doesn't take much to put you a bit off. Yeah, I broke down. I got some McDonald's again. It literally can't finish it without having to deal with it. Still, hey McDonald's Corp, send me all your money. I'd love it. It would be a delightful pile of money to just roll around on, throw up in the air. I'll go buy bags and bags of cheeseburgers for people and just give them out. But yeah, when I go and get 6-piece nuggets and maybe a side of a cheeseburger, pretty much before I can even finish it, and I'm like, oh snaps, do I need to take a bathroom break? Because this is fast food. This takes like 9 minutes to eat, and I don't think I can make it. It's already, oh yeah, it doesn't like it in there. It does not. And it did not like it in there. I did not poop my pants in Walmart. Oh, hi, Mark. So yeah, then the series, the Babar series started, and it was like, here's a bunch of characters. They are running a country, I guess. And then Retaxas is like, I don't like this. I'm going to take down your country. Like, what is going on here? And then there's the monkeys. And then there was... I'm getting it confused with the later seasons of... Did we do this before? Of the raccoons, where suddenly it was just like, hey, we're going to parties at Lady Baden-Bod's mansion, a garden party. Like, what is that? A wealthy alligator? What's going on over here? You guys remember there was like humans? There was one rich anteater, which Canada is known for, and who had a mansion and a son. But that was it. The rest of the animals were just animals. Bert had a jersey, and I think Melissa might have had something to cover her top, and don't remember the other guy's name. Cousin Larry, he had like a little tie or something. They were ridiculous. But yeah, I watched like every episode of that, and still to this day I'm just like, I don't know. I guess there's like some sort of parallel land. There's like an island where all the animals are like, we've seen the outside world. Babar went out there and checked it out, and they're having holidays, but all the animals, they're all just naked and pooping on the floor. So we're not doing that. Everybody, if you don't have a nice red suit or nice green suit like Babar, we're gonna get you one. And if we can't get you one, you better make one or figure one out, because that's what we're doing now. We're a society, all right? The rhinoceros over there, yeah, he's claimed himself also king of the land, but we like Babar and his family. Yeah, he's got a bunch of kids now. We don't need to explain it, but he does. Anyway, Retaxas hates us, but he's a real sweetheart, so we'll always give him another chance. So yeah, this was more of a Rocksteady. To be fully honest, it was actually it was just gonna be a rhinoceros. A lot of times when I just start to randomly draw things, I'm like, rhinoceros or Batman ears, or Ninja Turtle something or other. But today's straight line drawing of laziness. Let's go with some red. I said red. Have a feeling that my tablet didn't register. It did not. It did not. Good. This should be interesting. All right. So we're just doing straight lines anyway, so I don't really need my pressure sensitivity or the pen to be accurate. We're just gonna have some fun. We're just gonna have some fun. Happy little trees and whatnot. So, meanwhile, in Rageland, where the F is Rageland? What are you talking about? What do you mean Rageland? Did I get quarantined in some sort of Thunderdome? Do I have to Thunderdome my way out of here today? I thought this was just a regular day, a regular stream. What are you talking about? Oh my god. I'm the same thing we talk about every week. Alright? Nothing has actually changed. But in the world of Ragedome, where you're filled with Ragedom, I mean, again, in a world where, I don't know, once, twice a week, somebody at my job tells me, you're fantastic, and we don't know what we'd do without you. If you were here, we'd give you a hug and a cake, and oh, you're just wonderful. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're an employee and a confidant. If you drew a picture and drew everyone you knew, you would see that the payment would come from me because I'm your employer. Thank you for being a friend. Oh man. Only one may leave in the Thunderdome. So it's like I shouldn't start and end it every day with the fear that I'm probably gonna get fired today. Really no reason to, but still, because I'm a good person who is afraid of all the things, I still go to my job thinking I'm gonna try my best not to be a jerk today, so I don't get fired. Even better, an even better reason, so I'm not a jerk. Like, it's fun to be a jerk when people know you're having fun with being a jerk, but when you know that people don't know, you're just gonna be a jerk. So like, I don't want to be a jerk at work. I don't want to do that. But when interviewed, this particular guy who has a job, he's got a job and nobody's fired him, but they were like, hey man, the numbers are going up on like all the virus stuff, and all the numbers are going down on all the alive stuff. What are you thinking now? What are you thinking now, dog? You got any good ideas? Maybe you could look to all the hundreds of people that you should have employed to be giving you real good ideas. But what do you got to say today? That's your job, is to say things. What are you gonna say? And in response to everything's on fire and falling apart, Captain Genius Pants looked up to the cameras and the people and said, I think it's great. I think our country is great. So the country's greatness, we'll just kind of work this out and it'll be wicked fine. 200,000 people have died so far, and all the stuff. But think of the non-200,000 people who are doing great right now. Yeah, no, they're fighting for their life. Shh. No, those people are bad, and our heroes are fighting them for their lives. No, that's not how. As somebody who's been thrown in piles of garbage on his way to school every once in a while, for no reason other than that's a thing that they need to do. But every once in a while, those bullies will give the reason. Hey, hey Pat, hey Moxie Fox. Like literally, like, oh, you have to get used to this. Like, you have to get used to this. So the only way for you to not get thrown in the garbage is to get thrown in the garbage. And I'd be like, hey, father, you know the fathers of these giant teens that are picking me up and throwing me into random garbage bags. Do we want to maybe toss around the idea that garbage sometimes has a pile of glass? Occasionally people throw out knives, syringes and whatnot. There's so far I've had the magical, grandiose luck of every time these giant teens throw me into a pile of garbage on garbage day, it's always been the softest garbage and everything's great. But there's a wicked good chance that this is how I could die. And, is there any way? It's like, no, no. They have to do this. It's the only way you learn. Like, no. I already know the answer. I already know the answer is I don't want to get beaten. And when I say me, I mean all the black lives that matter and indigenous lives and the trans lives. All those people whose lives matter who are like, can you not murder me today? And they're like, I'll show you. I'll show you how I can not murder you by beating you nearly to death. Maybe to death. But whatever. Like, can't you see? Now do you get it? Like, no. I think there's been a serious miscommunication here. Oh, has there been? Well, I'll beat communication into you. Like, this is not, you're not getting, I'm not syncing up here. We're not. So anyway, everyone in the world's fantastic and a genius. Let me see what Nick Fury looks like over here. Did I save it? I did not. I did not. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. So, there was that. Oh, don't even get me wrong. Even my mom says, like, you hated kids when you were a kid. Like, I sure did. They were all filthy and violent. The police thing I do find super difficult because, they're the people you're supposed to turn to when everything falls apart. But when you really stop and look at, let's even go Brooklyn Nine-Nine, a silly version of the police. Let's maybe even switch to the drawing camera, because that makes sense. Because I'm drawing stuff. Just making shapes, really. I feel like I should make this even more square. But even on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Jake's whole idealism of a police officer is I just want to say Brooklyn Nine-Nine now, is Die Hard. And little baby goats are pretty adorable, I have to say. Super, super adorable. I'm sure they're the meanest. But yeah, so Brooklyn Nine-Nine was like, and he's like the best version of a cop in all of television and real life. And it's still just like, I don't want him anywhere near me as a cop. If somebody's delusions of grandeur, delusions of heroism are the jumping out of a window and swinging back in and breaking glass, having a gun taped behind your back, beating somebody down, it's like, yeah, that's Die Hard with a vengeance. And, most of the time when you go out there, if you're a police officer going out, oh, geez, I didn't know who the... All right. So, Avocado Shakes / Liberty changed her name. I thought somebody was yelling at me. I could have swore just out of the corner of my eye this message said the cat for F's sakes or something TV, and I thought somebody was like making fun of me for having a cat. Yeah, that's what gladiators and ninja warrioring are for. Aw, gross. Let me get out of here. On Drake and Liberty's TV, Milo is actually furry because of the cats being near the TV. A square, Nick Fury. Actually, alright. I won't drone on about cops for a while. Other than, I'm gonna say white Nick Fury sucks. I don't know, it's fine. That's what this show is for. Just interrupt myself. For the longest time, I just never saw Nick Fury. Like, just never. He never came up in any of the comics that I ever had. Except, like, once he was in this Captain America book where I can't remember it all, but it was some weird thing where, like, Captain America's coming home. They've got, like, this apartment building that's got, like, holograms over it so he can sneak in so nobody knows that he's just living downtown in a regular apartment. Something. And then some lady shows up, and it's just like, hey, I don't trust you. Like, you gotta trust me. It might be Maria Hill, I think. Kobe Smulders in the movie there. And she's all like, we gotta do stuff with this flying car. Like, flying cars, I'm from the 20s or whatever. And eventually, within all this mishigosh, white Nick Fury shows up with a jetpack, and that's kind of all I know him as. Like, anytime I ever saw him was always, shh, hey guys, it's me, Nick Fury. You better stop doing that, or we're gonna shield you. Or, hey, you better join S.H.I.E.L.D. or unshield yourself or keep shielding. Anyway, jetpack away. And that was it. He'd be there for like 4 panels, and anytime I ever saw him, but he was always in a jetpack and always adjacent to some sort of flying car or that helicarrier. And I just never really knew anything about him. And then I want to call them the Incredibles. I want to call them the Invincibles. But they are called the... there was New Avengers. Ultimate Avengers. There we go. So Ultimate Avengers came around, and that's when I started reading Avenger type stuff. I really never read much Avenger stuff other than Alias, aka Jessica Jones. Before that was a TV show that I didn't care to watch. So I only knew a bit of stuff here and there. So within the Ultimate Universe, that's when Nick Fury became Samuel L. Jackson. That's when a couple of the characters started to become more actory, and in one of the issues they all sit around and discuss what's to be done with this Bruce Banner. He is out of control and he's gonna murder us all. We gotta do something. Like, he's indestructible. We keep trying. We gotta do something. He is a menace and he's weird looking. Hey, who would all play us in movies? That guy would definitely be Samuel Jackson. They all go around the room. And then they're just like, oh, Bruce, like, would obviously be like Rick Moranis. And Bruce comes in and like, oh, I'm the Rick Moranis? Like, that sucks. And all I could think was, I know Rick Moranis probably isn't reading Ultimate Avengers comics, but he also seems like the kind of guy who might be sitting around reading Ultimate Avengers comics. And all I can think is, poor Rick Moranis. He's a real person who's like, I am the Rick Moranis of my real life. You're just a drawing of a guy who looks more like old-timey Peter Parker with the big giant glasses than, Everybody creates shrink rays. everybody. They're a dime a dozen. So whatever. They're making fun of him. Blah, blah, blah. But that's where cool Nick Fury shows up. And I think at a certain point, I cannot remember whose book. Hey, oops. Where am I? I'm on the Be Right Back. There we go. Don't know how I did that. So at a certain point, I know Nick Fury this way. So I'm like, all right, fine. That's what I know. And he's awesome. And then, I remember what it is now. So then, I start getting into I want to call them Marvel Knights. Might be one over here. Can't move this thing. This one just says regular. Oh no, there it is. Marvel Knights. So it's just more darker, crazier stuff, I guess. So the Marvel Knights Punisher, amazing. I was just sucked in. It was just like every issue, every page. I'm just like, oh my god, can I tell you about this thing? He like woke up and he had to like detect his own wounds to figure out what had happened, and he deduced that he beat up a bunch of guys, and then eventually, this is amazing. But in these books, Nick Fury is still white, and I'm just like, whoa, who's this guy? What's the deal? You already have a cooler Nick Fury, but then this Nick Fury is still like going at it over here like it's no big deal. And again, not that Samuel L. Jackson Nick Fury isn't still like evil, in many ways. Whatever it takes to get the job done. If we gotta lay waste to a city, we'll lay waste to a city type of guy. And I was like, wow, White Nick Fury is a menace, and he kind of needs to be stopped. And the whole time, the Punisher's like, I don't want to work for you anymore. Like, you're crazy. Like, you're just getting me to do crazy missions because you're crazy. I'm just going to go, like, do hero stuff instead. And, like, stuff is amazing. Nick Fury's a menace. And then, like, he disappeared for a while or something. There was a whole bunch of stuff going on. So then, the history of, as I know it, of Nick Fury, I guess. Hawkeye, of all things. Yeah, I've spent way too much time making fun of Hawkeye. He's dumb. He's got arrows. They'll run out. Him and Green Arrow, Green Arrow and they're both the worst. Green Arrow is awesome. In the cartoons, he's great. I read a bunch of Green Arrow books. They're so good. He's such a good character. But, structurally speaking, like on paper, look like he's got a handful of arrows. Yeah. He's good at aiming. Mm-hmm. No power? No, he was just like stuck on an island for a while, so he got real good at shooting arrows. Okay. Can't see how that could be a popular show on the CW. Oh, Pat. You just reminded me, Patrick. You do know that there is was it CBS? I feel like it was a CBS or maybe a TNT TV movie where David Hasselhoff, we've talked about this, David Hasselhoff played Nick Fury in a Nick Fury movie. And I mean, it was like, I definitely didn't make it through it. I've skimmed it for sure. I've watched a review of how bad it is for sure. I think it might have been like supposed to be the beginning of a TV series, like kind of a TV movie, like that type of thing, pilot. But it is unbearably bad. Like, like David Hasselhoff is hilarious as a cameo, as a thing that exists. Him and Fabio show up all over the place. Be in everything. It's always great. But you can't be a main character. You're not good at things. I'm sorry. I'm super sorry. All right, and again, I'm trying to follow in your footsteps. I'm just trying to not be good at things as good as David Hasselhoff and Fabio. But yeah, there's no kid in it, which would make it make even more sense, I think. He's doing some action stuff, and he clearly does not have the range of motion to do so. Plus, White Nick Fury is just like, cigar chomping, like old semi-white haired, like just kind of very standard old timey military guy. He just sucked. And I'm sure there's great things. Anyway, so then, maybe it was Brubaker or something. Some good writing, whatever it was. So I went through a few of these Hawkeye comics that were just, I don't know, I remember them being fantastic. Fabio pre and post Bird. Fabio's forever. He is forever. Even with a wound across his face, it's still like, you're still Fabio. Your life still makes no sense in the whole world. People painted pictures of you, and now you sell all the butter? What? You're the luckiest, weirdest person ever. You get hit in the face with a seagull on a roller coaster? I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. I'm going to take the time to read about that probably once a year every year, because that's mind-blowing and amazing. Okay? All the butter. All of it. If you want to buy that butter, you gotta know Fabio. Watch him swift his hair around. Basil to go. Don't you think about that? Fabio's for real. Oh, what am I doing? Wasting my precious time. Can't handle my mistakes. Something. So, within this book, I can't remember if there's a whole bunch of stuff where Hawkeye's always dying, which that makes the most sense about Hawkeye is, yeah, of course he died. Look at him. He's just a guy with some arrows. He's not even covering up his arms or half his body. He's gonna get chopped to pieces. He's fighting ninjas. The reference fight. So whatever it was one of the several times he'd come back to life, I guess, and it's like, hey, we need you to do a thing. Like, hey, I'm not doing weird mercenary stuff. Like, you gotta do it or we're gonna murder somebody. Like, all right, fine, you got me. I'll help. So he's like getting involved in this really shady stuff. And it's like, I don't even want to get involved in this stuff. Like all this crazy Nick Fury stuff. And then somebody's like talking about Nick Fury. And he's like, you know that's not Nick Fury, right? Like, or he was talking to Nick Fury? Might be mixing some books. But I remember loving this point where he basically says, like, oh, no, yeah, like, they're all called Nick Fury. Like, what do you mean they're all called Nick Fury? Like, it's like James Bond. Like, he's just the Nick Fury that's going. Like, yeah, the other guy is still around. I was just, dealing with him or whatever. But this guy's taken over. So, yeah, like, in this universe, depending on who's writing, I guess, there is just a line of Nick Fury. No, that's what I thought. But you know what, Pat? That's racist. Because, I mean, I know you're not. I know you're just joking, Pat. But you don't actually care about any of these things. But was definitely a time when it's like the only reason, like I distinctly remember comic book nerds being like, basically the only reason I'm accepting this version of Nick Fury is because he is as cool as Samuel L. Jackson. And I was just like, yeah, I used to be one of these people who was like, yeah, the character should keep being that same character, like, forever, or make a new character. But once the nerds started being like, no, this is unacceptable, I was like, you know what? It's just a drawing. He could be whatever color. Smithers was black in the first episode. Smithers was black. And now he's white and nobody's like, oh, not my Smithers. Not my Smithers. A white Smithers? Never. And that's the way people should be. That's the way people should be. Wait, no, that's not how people should be. People should be more accepting of who cares what color these cartoon characters are. Because in the end, if all lives matter, then it doesn't matter what color your cartoon characters are. All the things matter to you, so you can love them all. Or you're a racist liar, and you don't. Same deal with when the worst superhero movie of all time came out, and they made Kingpin Michael Clark Duncan, who, when it came out, it was just like, whoa, that's weird, like, because in my head, Kingpin is the epitome of white evil. He's a big white guy. But then when the movie, it was just like, hey, we're getting Michael Clark Duncan. Like, A, he really wants to do it, and B, he's the only human actor in the world who even comes close to being what the Kingpin is physically, or else we need to make a big CG juggernaut monster. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, Michael Clark Duncan. And plus, you know, just the fact that when that did came out, it was like, oh, like, if it's, like, Michael Clark Duncan is the best, he's the best right now, he was over there, Green Mile and stuff, nobody's not loving everything this guy does. He is McD, and it was just like, this won't be what ruins it. Different Daredevil, not what ruins it. Ben Affleck, not what ruins it. The costume didn't ruin it. Even like he was hanging on top of the church. They had so many things. But no. Hey, I think you're cute. What? Get away from me, weirdo. No, you have to let me talk to you because I'm blind. No, I don't. Hey, I'm gonna fight you right now. Alright, cool. I'm a lady and you're a blind man. Let's fist fight in a park in front of children. I don't know what this movie's about anymore. It's a whole bunch of MacGuffins. Not enough of anything. But whatever. I'm sure I've watched it twice. I think I gave them some money. Don't think it got me to the theater though. It was rough. Especially if at that time you were actually super into Daredevil. Which I was. It was just like, what's going on here? What is this about? That almost led me somewhere. But I lost it. Something about the real world, the intersection of made-up characters. But yeah, now I'm just at a point in my life, I guess, where so many versions of stuff already exist that it's just like, at this point, if you are upset that another race is going to get involved in your movie or story, then you can always enjoy the other one if this one isn't your cup of tea. But if you're just like, no, I will not accept or allow that to happen, like this is an outrage, then odds are, yeah, you're just being racist. Like, that's all that is. Lucifer I never did watch. Daredevil, I really didn't give it a chance. I wanted to. I really did, because I do like Daredevil. But I had to relearn so much stuff. And the guy playing Foggy, I just really couldn't stand him. Everything about, every word out of his face, every pose that he took, everything about him just seemed like, hey, hello, Matt Murdock. I'm here with the information. I'm worried about you. I'm an actor. I'm in a Netflix show. Good for me. And made me sick. Made me sick. Oh yeah, that's something to really get upset about. Some poor secondary characters acting in a thing, and then, you're just gonna throw away the whole entire... He's an important character. An important character. He's almost like... He's a little bit of a conscience between him and the other news reporter guy. You don't even know. You don't even know. Ugh. Wrong camera. There we go. No! Major Penguin, what are you doing here? But, overall, it did look good. It did look good, I have to say. I wanted to. Still kind of want to give Punisher a chance. But that, again, always comes down to something. Hate that Walking Dead guy. Hate that Walking Dead guy. Who plays the Punisher? No. Barenthal? Excuse me. But just to drift into some Black Lives Matter tirading for a slight little bit, it's supposed to be way better. Like, that's why I do want to give it more of a chance, because definitely some good writing there. But yeah, I didn't realize this. It was like last week, I mentioned, I was like watching some of the demonstrations, protests down the road there, and a lady talking about stuff that matters, and how there's so many, again, not even talking about the big things, i.e. the 75 videos deep of just like, why are people just being mean? This is pure racism. This is pure racism. How do you go to sleep at night? How does somebody not jump to you of any other race? Anybody just jumped you and beat you to pieces. You're filming yourself, showing like, hey, look at these people over here. Watch how good I can be racist against them. But on such a I don't even know petty scale, I don't know what it is. It's just pure racist, and I didn't know. I really didn't know. And then it's like within a few days, heard it in a few different places where it's just like, this is like world, at least nationwide. This is Canada and the United States, where like almost in